Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 30 of the When in Doubt podcast. We're absolutely thrilled to be here. 30 episodes in is absolutely wild to think about. Today we got Hayden,
Micah,
Gavin,
and Noah.
Let's clap it up for episode 30, baby. Welcome back to episode 30. We're absolutely excited to be here today. Mike is back in from the part. Was that episode 28 you were on, Micah? Or 29?
27.
27.
28 was Joe Guy.
Really?
Yep.
Damn, was that long ago?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So today we're doing something kind of, I guess, just boost your own ego. No, I'm kidding. We're not boosting our ego. Because
we definitely are.
Maybe we're just going to hate on ourselves all day today. You don't really know. But today, we are in episode 30 of the When in Doubt podcast, which feels kind of special. It's just it's a round number. You know, round numbers always feel nice. Even numbers feel nice. So we're taking, for episode 30, we are doing a tier list, which are some of our most popular episodes, our tier list episodes. Yep. And we're doing a tier list of the When in Doubt podcast episodes so far. So this is
going to be so hype.
So this is an interesting.
I'm so hyped.
Interesting topic here. We get to look back at our past of the When in Doubt podcast. You know, we've had 30 episodes.
This is gonna be great
so far.
for Micah because he's definitely been in every podcast.
Definitely.
I've definitely watched more than 2 episodes.
definitely. Well, we'll get to learn.
Don't know what the people want to hear.
Well, that is what people want to hear. Well, that was actually nice. That was nice. But we get to look back and kind of, remember some of the topics we talked about, the guests we had on. Fun times. So let's start it off from the top. Noah, do you want to kick us off?
Episode 1 was a while ago, back in December.
Jeez, long time ago.
Is that crazy? Over
shirt.
6 months.
Kevin,
You spilled
Kevin
already?
just spilled Arnold Palmer all over his
I'll be right back.
Good job.
He's going to be right back.
All right, anyway, episode 1, we talked about last year's boys' trip.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about because we're literally leaving tomorrow morning for our
my
trip.
gosh.
Which you guys...
Well, when it comes out, it'll be yesterday.
Yeah, true. Good point. This hasn't really been announced yet, but we're hoping on filming a bunch of content while we're up there. Obviously, we're going to enjoy the trip first and foremost before anything else because I just want to enjoy it. But we're going to film probably a few podcasts up there. We're trying to do like a little like video, like montage, documentary sort of thing. You guys will find more about it later. We'll post stuff about it, but keep up to date because we got a lot of exciting stuff that's not just straight up podcast content. So that's going to be really fun. But here's the deal. My opinion on it. I definitely don't think it was our best episode. We didn't really know.
We also talked about college football playoffs.
Okay.
Matthew was very
into that. Yeah. I don't think it was our best episode by any means, like with talking pounds, but at the same time, it did start everything. So
I agree.
For that being said, I think it's A tier. But
I would have said A tier as well. I think the first part was really, really funny. I really loved listening to it. I just didn't love the college football playoff part. It was still interesting, but not as funny. So I agree with the A tier.
What do you guys think, Mike?
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
I would say B tier.
It started it all though.
Yeah. I think
you have to give that credit, man.
I think the ideology that started it all is good, but the episode itself, if we're talking about,
was
like
A tier.
B tier.
I think I agree. Episode overall is B tier, but I think just the idea of it starting it all deserves A tier. Am I tripping or no?
No, you're not.
I think A tier.
Me
I'm
dragging that in, I'm realizing how absolutely lame this is. Us ranking, I remember that.
That's what I was saying before we started recording.
No, it's funny though. It's gonna be.
We're too late to go back now.
Okay, episode 2.
Episode 2, we talked about. We did the topic game. We talked about Fortnite, and then we also talked about the NFL season, which was mostly underway at the time.
Mid.
Yeah, I think that was like
a C tier episode at best.
Yeah,
guys,
C
right
tier.
there.
I'm gonna be honest. We've done so many now. I don't even remember some of these.
Yeah.
I barely remember. I remember the only thing that I literally can remember from episode 2 is that I couldn't remember what to do to make another thumbnail. So I basically just used the same thumbnail.
I noticed that.
So
same
I basically
in the
just
image
used
today,
the same.
back, it was the exact same one.
I basically just used the same thumbnail and then just changed like some of the pictures on top. Which then my thumbnails got better. But that's what I remember from that episode. All right,
I like using the question mark.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 was our Christmas episode. We talked about what we were doing for Christmas,
Micah,
and we talked about top 10 Christmas movies.
Micah, how do you feel about Christmas during the summer season? How do you feel about Christmas?
I think that's crazy.
That's
wild.
crazy. Talking about Christmas when it's... Well, wait, it was Christmas at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
This was
it
back
was
in
our
like
Christmas
November.
episode.
Okay, yeah, I thought for a second we were talking about Christmas not in Christmas season.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
if we're talking about Christmas during Christmas season...
this was a good one,
I think,
especially when Matthew was talking about Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. point.
And then Elf wasn't a top 3 Christmas movie
That's crazy.
in that list, which was wild.
I think
it was still funny. I would say
think B
solid.
tier.
Yes,
I would say a solid B tier. I liked that episode. It was fun to record, and I think there was actually some like good content in that one.
All right, this is our first like really really good one. Our episode 4, Marvel movie tier list.
Yeah, this was good.
And Matthew completely messed us up.
No, this was a good episode. This one will go down in the books because Gavin, not quite as much Gavin, but I mean Gavin's still seen a decent amount of them. Me and Noah especially, and even Jack. Jack wasn't there that day, but me and Noah especially, we've watched a lot of Marvel movies. I mean,
I've watched them all.
Yeah, have you? How many of the Marvel movies you've watched? A lot of them too. Yeah,
yeah.
So I mean, obviously Mike wasn't around then, but I mean,
He just popped into the world a few days later. I just spawned.
We just spawned in. No, but me and Noah especially are like very avid Marvel fans, and literally Gavin and Matthew sit down and they're like coming up with these wild takes on movies, and then right at the end Matthew goes, "Yeah, I've seen like 2 of these movies," and he's been changing up our rankings the whole day. So
I think it's definitely A tier.
I would say it's a very high A tier.
Looking back, I've seen the thumbnails, but seeing this now reminds me. Remember when we used to record 2 episodes every time we sat down?
Why do we stop doing that?
That's probably still a better idea. I feel like just a lot of times now it's like you do one episode.
So busy.
I feel like we just become lazy.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, true. Well, it's laziness, and it's also we record one episode and they're like, now we just kind of want to go hang out. we get bored of sitting down for an hour straight.
Well, it's just
talking.
like we're in the same outfits 2 in a row. We're in the same outfits 2 in a row, same outfits, and then.
Well,
it
I mean,
just
that's
dies.
what we'll probably do when we go on the trip. I mean, we'll probably record at least. Maybe like we'll sit down and just record 2.
We'll record for the next year. No,
we record just 100 episodes. No, okay. Okay. Sorry.
All right. So
on.
episode 4, that was Marvel. That was A tier.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the first episode with everybody on it, talking about
Spotify
Spotify Rap.
S tier.
S tier.
S tier.
100%.
Absolutely.
S tier. This was.
And before we even talk about either of them, episode 6 was when we talked about how we all met. Also S tier.
I agree with that. I think
that one was lower than Spotify though.
That was
if
hilarious.
anything, Marvel movie was better than that one.
I vote high A. I agree with Gavin.
High A. Okay.
Okay, but here's the thing.
put
I
that
do want
at
to
the
mention
top
one
of
thing.
A.
If you get all of us together, like we're gonna have this upcoming like trip, if you can get all of us together, dude, the podcasts are so fun. Not only are they just fun to like yap about random things, but like it's just the energy of having everybody in the same room and like just like having so many people with like ideas and stuff to talk about. It makes it more interesting because more people have takes. You know, if there's just like 2 or 3, I mean, it's still fun, it's still good, but it's just the more people you have, it feels like it's just, you know, there's more ideas bouncing around.
I think episode 5, it was 5. Spotify Rap definitely S tier because it was the first one where we had the full.
And it blew. That was one of our biggest episodes on Spotify and YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah, and it was the first one where we had everybody on it. It was just really fun to record because we were like. Just talking about our Spotify Rap, you know, everybody loves talking about it, and
SoundCloud
some fun takes.
Matthew literally listens to music on SoundCloud. I
didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't even know. I knew SoundCloud was a thing, but I thought it was like a thing for like trying up and coming artists who couldn't get their music on like Apple Music, and then they just put it on SoundCloud. I didn't actually know people listen to music on SoundCloud. It was out of SoundCloud Rap. It's like, bro, what? No, but it was still a good episode. That was an incredible episode.
All right, episode 7, we talked about our first like diving into us having haters. That was our first one, and then we also talked about a little bit more about NFL and about pickleball.
That was a solid episode. I remember.
Yeah, that was good.
I think that was a good app. I don't even know if I was on this one. No, I was.
There you go.
I don't know. I think it was like a mid episode at best, though. Like maybe B or C.
Tier.
I think B. I think low B probably. I remember.
We've definitely.
I do actually remember this episode once again did really well, like views wise, which obviously I know because I do a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. But I see like the episodes that do well, and obviously I could have told you that episode was going to do well. But at the same time, it still wasn't my favorite to record. It was kind of just talking about like what we had noticed from the first few few months or a few.
You can tell which episodes we did not have any idea what we were going to talk about until 5 minutes before.
Yeah, well, I think it's true sometimes, but
this one,
yeah, this one, yeah, that's fair.
Like the episode we're recording right now.
No, we can't. Whatever. Keep going.
All right, episode 8 was the fast food tier list, which was also very, very fun to record.
That was fun.
This is a A tier, high A tier.
I think I agree.
Yeah, this was.
Like I was saying, I feel like although we're kind of cheating by doing a tier list of our own shows,
it's still fun
as a joke. Our tier list episodes always do well, like views wise, and they're just fun to record.
They're
because
so fun to record.
You're always talking about stuff that even if it's not important, it's still you can get passionate about it. You know, although.
But like think about like someone scrolling their Instagram reels and they're like, here are these like 4 guys sitting on a couch. Oh yeah, remember that one episode where we talked about Fortnite? No.
Yeah.
Womp womp. Follow us and keep watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the clip. what do you call it? Clickbait. If you want to know what we're talking about, go follow our channels and like check it out. Our OnlyFans is where most of our stuff gets posted.
All right, that is crazy.
Alrighty. Anyways, episode 9. We talked about why we think it is a possibility the NFL may or may not be rigged.
What was that? What? Oh yeah.
And we talked about playoffs, the Super Bowl, the NFL being rigged, refs being too old, and Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelce.
I think that was a B-tier episode. The fact that I can't even remember recording it.
Maybe
C.
Honestly, when did you start? So you've seen a decent amount of our reels, I'd guess, right?
Yeah.
Like most people, but not like our full episodes. Have you like seen any of like full episodes? Maybe like 1 or 2.
I watched your ranking your drinks.
Got it.
That
was a good episode.
one.
I think
That is an S tier episode.
We'll get there when we
the
get
NFL
there.
rig though. I think that's a C. I think we can't give ourselves
be
too
too
much
generous.
credit because we only have 1 in C tier after 9.
That's true.
Yeah,
And
I
there's
agree.
none in D
I think-
tier.
Yeah, we have nothing in D or F. I think we'll.
I
have
know
some,
which
though.
one's mine is for sure.
Okay, keep going.
All right, next up we have the technology episode 10. I don't remember much about this episode.
I feel like
mainly because I was not here.
I actually
But
remember
we
this-
talked about Unreal technology available, the scary but exciting future.
Oh, we talked
and
about the
favorite
evolution.
video
Good.
game memories. Like like half of our episodes are us talking about our favorite video games. And
Really?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you pick like a random episode, there's probably like a 40% chance we talk about our favorite video games.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm tripping. I swear. I swear you've done
It's like
twice.
every other episode or something crazy.
Random. All right.
Should we talk about our favorite video games after we finish this tier list?
I think
No.
this technology episode
I feel
it
like
wasn't
I
our
remember-
best.
I feel like I remember this one being decent. Like, not like maybe our best, but I feel like I remember
Maybe, like,
it being
B-tier.
interesting. Like, it's actually an episode. Sometimes we record episodes where I'm like sitting from the outside, like, I would never actually watch this personally, but I know a
I
lot
would
of
never watch
but,
this.
But I know a bunch of people who would watch this, and that's why we record. But then there's other episodes like this where I sit down and I record it. I'm like, I would go back and watch that myself just because it was interesting. So I feel like for that reason, you got to put it at least in B.
I think I could do it. Go with
Agreed.
B.
Yeah.
I
I
think.
think B. but he didn't watch the episode.
All right, episode 11. We had professional musicians on the podcast.
Oh yeah, this was
AKA Gavin and me.
we talked about your guys'
Talked about
ridiculous-
our piano skills piano skills as well. And then Hayden plays guitar, Hayden sings.
Yeah.
We all kind of write our own songs, and we talked about our favorite Steam games.
Wow, that's
This was also the episode where our camera died, and we had
Oh,
to
we had to
record the last
When
half.
I
Yeah, this
made
is-
my
this is-
jokes and they got cut out.
yeah.
Cahoon!
This
You're
is
a cahoon!
yeah. This is a. I'm not gonna cap. I think this is pretty low.
I think this is.
Yeah.
I think this should
This
be our first
This
D
is a
tier.
C tier.
D
What?
tier.
I think it's might be D.
D? Really?
no,
That-
well,
there was-
here's
that was
we
a
gotta-
bad episode.
We got to be harsh on ourselves, and here's the reason why. I think first off, as much as I love talking about ourselves, nobody really cares about how good we are at music.
True.
At music. Although it's like interesting.
Like Juan said, don't be a narcissist.
It's interesting. It is, but like at the same time, who really cares? Like, oh, we can play the piano, guitar, yoo-hoo. And like,
I think this episode we're mostly just yapping, and there's no way we recorded 40 minutes talking about us playing piano and you
no,
playing
I do
guitar.
like the Steam games idea at the end, but
The
the
Steam
only
games,
thing
yeah.
that I think diminishes that is the fact that we do talk about it every other episode. If we only talked about it in one episode, then maybe it'd be
Literally
higher.
every other episode.
That is
But
true.
It's okay.
okay,
All right, episode 12 was our very first guest on the When in Doubt podcast. We had Lily, Hayden's girlfriend, on. And
Forgot
episode 12, we played Who's More
that was a
Likely
good
to.
episode.
That was a
funny.
really good episode, but I do have something to say. If we were ranking this on how fun it was to film, this would be like a top 3 for me. This was so much fun to film. But unfortunately, due to the world, stuff had to be cut out.
Yeah.
So
I
the episode, listening to it back, unfortunately, is probably like a B tier episode.
I would say more like
But
C.
filming it
I think
was
B,
a
too.
lot of fun.
No, I had a really. I agree with Noah.
'Cause-
I had a really fun time filming it, but it's like coming from also the guy editing it. It's hard to like. I'm trying to piece-
listening back. It
yeah.
wasn't that great.
Well, like if you're thinking it from someone who's like not one of us, like you can look back and say like, oh, I had a fun time doing that. But someone who hasn't watched that, watching us play Who's Most Likely to, like I feel like that's just not as good as our other ones, you know.
Yeah,
From like an audience perspective.
Okay, yeah, I agree. But then again, this is our tier list, so who really gives a crap what other people think? Put it in B.
Yep.
All right.
All
Next.
right. Episode 13, we had Lily back, and we did a Star Wars tier
That was
list
good,
with
too.
all the movies and all the shows. This was an A tier podcast. Absolutely.
I would say B.
The
I would
one
argue
where the
B.
big golf ball explodes. Move on.
Okay.
There's a good. You could find one good line in every episode though.
I'd argue high B instead of A. I don't think it was as good as our Marvel ones. I think we're being a little too generous there. I think it was a good episode, but also Lily had to dip at the end, which also made like the ending a little weird to edit. I remember.
Yeah.
So I'd say B because of that, but it was still a good episode. Fun times.
Episode 14 was our first virtual episode. We talked about new movies that released, mainly Dune 2, and then we were talking about like the new Shrek movie and multiple other.
Do you want to say hilarious? I specifically remember about this episode. We posted, and I remember coming off and being like, wow, that was actually one of our best episodes. We talked, like, that was actually good information. Like, that was one of those episodes where I thought I'd go back and I'd watch that episode because it was super informative about new movies coming out, what we thought about them. Like, super good, like, movie review type podcast.
Yeah.
But then, for some reason, I think it was because we've been doing all in real life, it got, like, 0 views. It legit, our normal views of, like, what is going on?
What is that?
I'm tripping out.
Something over there.
No, but I specifically remember like being like, how does this not getting views? And I literally thought it was like one of our better episodes, and it got like half the views, not even. So maybe because
it was a big change in format.
Yeah, it was a big change in format, but I still feel like we did a good job with it. I think at least B.
Go watch
I would say
episode
B tier.
14, guys.
I would
episode.
I would argue A, but because of how bad it did views wise, we can put it in B if you guys think.
I think it was good content. It just. Yeah.
Well, we're rating it on how good we think the episode is.
Okay.
I'd say B.
Not how so.
I'd still say B though.
I still say high B though. High B.
We'll put it in high B.
Okay.
All right. Next up, this is my personal F tier. I'm sorry, guys. This is episode 15. We talked about emulators and physical games not existing anymore.
See that?
And
it's
this one, like, obviously, like, it's not like always funny, but this one was just not as fun for me to film, and this was probably my least favorite episode.
Yeah,
and
but do you want to
my
say
F
funny?
tier.
Do you want to say funny? Another episode where I think literally probably one of our most informative episodes. Once again, with what Gavin was saying.
That's true, but I don't feel like that's what we're trying to do.
I feel like it's informative, but
yeah.
it's such like the amount of people who actually really know about emulation.
It's such a specific
it
group
is.
of
Well,
people.
it's 100% a niche, but then again, at the same time, who like. I don't know. I think
it's a good episode.
I would argue who would you even if you take a random person off the street and you ask them the question, hey, would you rather sit down and listen to 5 kids talk about a would you rather and like a who's most likely to, like 5 good friends, or would you rather sit down and listen to like 30 minutes about them explain to you why emulators are taking over the gaming world and like about like physical media? Most people would probably say, oh, I'll learn about video games, then rather listen to 5 random kids yap about would you rathers. So like maybe. I personally, I also am into that, so I would put it higher. I would have argued low B, but if you guys think it's C, I'm fine with that.
The nice thing about it too is you can like see the ones you already put it and compare it. So like, do we think it's better than when we talked about playing music and stuff?
100%, 107%.
I'd say I could put it in C tier.
I'd say C tier.
I'll let you guys put it in C.
We have to end with something in F though. We can't be too nice to ourselves.
I mean, we can't.
We gotta put something in F. Absolutely. All right.
Another new guest.
Another new guest. Guest. Episode number 16 was another virtual episode, and we had another guest. Hayden's brother Brady came on.
Isn't that 15?
No, that was 15. This is 16.
Yeah.
And they started the incredibly long video game tier list.
That was
the episode's like an hour long, and they got through like 10 video games.
Yeah.
So,
is that the one where I was virtual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I sitting on the chair?
That was the podcast of our short that has 1.5 million views. So thanks for that, guys.
1.5 mil.
That is
pretty
a lot of people.
That's a lot. Michael goes, that's
the
a
amount
lot.
Of if you can look. Let me look. While you guys keep talking, I'm gonna look something up.
1.5 is ridiculous. All right, I think.
Oh yeah, I say a B tier. This was good.
Yeah,
quality information and another tier list episode.
Yeah, I think B tier was fine. I would have almost said C, but I think B is fine.
All right, that reel with 1.5 million views has been watched for 3,486 hours. That is a total of an entire. If you had your phone playing that reel for half of an entire year, never stopping. That's the amount of time it's been watched.
Wow!
Isn't that just crazy?
And the reel is what, 12 seconds long, I think.
That's work. If you worked every day for 12 hours for an entire year, nonstop,
24 hours.
That would be 12 hours for an entire year. That's the amount of time that was spent watching that reel.
Oh my god,
that's ridiculous. That's insane.
That's crazy. All right, next up, I think we have another S tier. Episode 17 was our very first monthly
Yeah, that was a good episode.
like our monthly headlines, and it was a hilarious episode. One of my favorite episodes of
really
film.
good.
This is an S tier episode for me.
That was
so much fun.
I 100% agree. I think it was like one of the first times. Wait, this is probably not good to say, but this is probably
one of the first times we had a good episode.
No. No, it was one of the first times we literally texted our group chat with all the podcast members and was like, all right, here's what we're going to talk about. Everybody do some research. Bring your own topics. Everybody do some research and come together. And at the end, we actually came up with an episode that we were all prepared for.
We did research ahead of time.
Yeah, which we don't do often.
That was crazy.
But that's why it was a good episode.
Yeah, I know. So I think it's.
We gotta start doing that more than
100%.
once in 30 episodes.
I agree.
All right. Next up, we have two very similar ones for 18 and 19. We have our March Madness recap.
Was good.
That was a longer one.
I can't remember which one of these I was in.
Neither.
I was in one of
dipped
them.
for both of them.
No, I was in one.
Oh, you were calling for both of them. That's right.
For both?
Yeah, I think you called for both.
Oh, I did. Because I was doing the stats on that one.
Yeah, worked out the stats. Either way, episode 18-19, it was the March Madness recap and the NBA playoff predictions.
I personally preferred the March Madness than the NBA
agree.
playoff. I think
I would say A and B.
Yeah, I agree.
I
In
agree.
that order.
100% agree.
Those were
the March
good
Madness was
episodes.
good. Was that the first episode where we did it in front of the TV?
Yep.
That was actually cool because I remember we used the TV as like a
As our
backboard and we were
background?
like pointing at like
So
here's the
sick.
matches of March Madness. That was actually sick. I remember that was really cool.
Still wish you guys could have seen my bracket.
that is unfortunate.
It deleted. So
That's
sad.
unfortunate.
Either
All right.
way. This one I think we have to put in S tier because it's episode 20 and it is the When in Doubt podcast funniest moments
Yeah, I agree.
of the first 20
Yeah, S
episodes.
tier.
I think like
This
A
is-
tier though.
No. S
putting
tier.
this in
Okay.
S tier.
First
bud.
off, for how much work Noah put into it, S tier, and
Okay.
second off,
However many minutes episodes 1 through 20 are combined, or 1 through 19 technically, that's how much work I put into it.
Yeah.
Plus then typing everything out and sending it to Hayden.
yeah, it was.
And I had to go in and download all of them.
Yeah.
Every single one. It was a lot of work.
It was a lot
but
of
it was
work.
worth it.
Just
'cause
for
it
how
was
much,
so
just how
fun.
much work it is. 100% S tier. I respect that out of Noah, but also it was actually pretty funny. If you watch through it, and there's a
it's
lot
so
of good
fun.
moments.
It's so
There's
How
a lot
long
of-
is it?
It's like an hour.
It's like an hour.
Oh, really?
It's so
and
good
it's like
because
all-
it's like
I just
all
saw
of our
the
best
like the
moments.
clips. I just remember the one where he's like, Drake's a goofy goober, and it just repeats.
That
Drake's
was
a
I
goofy
think our
goober.
second most viewed clip. I think.
Yeah, it
One
is.
Of them. Drake's a goofy goober. Dude.
And
He is
he's
a
like,
goofy goober.
Drake's a goofy goober, dude. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Drake's a goofy goober, dude. Yeah, I was just thinking about
Drake's
that.
actually one of my guilty pleasures.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. All right, continuing on.
All right, episode 21. I literally have no idea. I did not listen to this. It is what kind of
Go to the
music is
details.
best? Country versus pop versus rap.
This
Let's
was a
look
good
at the-
episode. This
let's
was a
look at
good
the
episode.
This was a good one. I
Yeah,
had
this is
no
a
idea.
really good episode, actually.
In episode 21 of the When
Wait,
in
who
Doubt
was all on
podcast,
this episode?
Me,
You, Matthew, and Hayden.
Yeah, this was a good
Wait.
episode. This was A tier 100%.
They discuss the music industry. They talk about underrated, overrated, and the biggest artists of 23 and 24.
I think that was an A tier.
This was
episode.
A tier.
Check out our other socials below. All socials, https://
Okay, buddy's reading the bio.
What is Mo doing?
You don't want me to read the link?
No.
All right.
All right, A tier.
A tier 100%.
A
I
tier?
think.
Should I go listen to it? I've never
yes, you
listened
should.
to it.
A lot of our music episodes, I feel like whenever we talk about music, it's fun because we all everybody likes music here. So, and we also know a lot, so it sounds better. It sounds more professional.
You were the only one in this next one.
All right.
What?
You and Matthew.
Oh, me, Matthew.
Oh yeah,
This is-
other people here.
I was gonna say.
This is the episode 22 Fortnite season tier list. I
Yeah.
think this has to go in A tier as well.
Yeah, this was good.
This was our longest episode. though.
Me and Matthew, literally, it was so funny. We talked and we were like, man, well, this will take like 30 minutes. It'll be fine. And then we forgot how many seasons there are. And we went in depth, too. Like, we both, out of everybody here, we both played the game a crap ton. And we, went in depth. So we didn't just talk about it. We talked about it. We very did. So just for how much work it was and actually it being a decent episode and pretty informative, I 100% agree A tier.
Absolutely. Episode 23 might have another S tier on our hands. We got Nick,
Yeah.
and Sebastian on the
That
pod.
was a good episode.
We played
Gel guy.
Gel Guy! He's back. Not really, but
Not really.
kind of.
That was a really good episode.
It
That
was. Episode 23, this is probably
I liked-
another S tier. This was a lot of fun to film. Playing Would You Rather with everyone.
Yeah, and also
then-
it wasn't like a would you rather where it was boring where people wouldn't care about it. It's not like I was asking Micah, would you rather drink this soda or this soda?
It was-
It
it was
wasn't
good
boring. Like it was
questions.
actually like
It was
No,
valid
I liked
questions.
listening to the
would
questions.
you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized
that was the worst
horses?
question. We took the most
We
time on it.
talked the most time on that.
Yeah, we
Well,
had
no,
actually.
I
good
wasn't
questions.
in this podcast, but I like seeing the clips because it was would you rather score the game winning shoot
Yeah.
the game winner to seal the deal or just force overtime.
Yeah.
And like I was genuinely intrigued to hear what people Nick was gonna say about that.
Yeah. That was a good episode. Did you watch the Gel Guy intro, Micah? Did you watch that?
No.
You got to go back and watch that. That's a banger.
So yeah, I'd put that in A or maybe even S.
Oh, I'd say S.
I think low S.
This is a good
Low
one.
S.
We'll put that at the back of the S.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, 24. We tried something new. We introduced the Witty Awards.
That's S tier.
that was
The
S.
When
That is
in Doubt
such
Awards.
S tier.
This was a really, really good episode where we all nominated an award
honestly-
for something, and then we picked our favorite, which then won the Witty Award for whatever it was. Best song, best show, best movie, best whatever.
If we could go back and if I was to like recommend us one singular episode of the podcast to somebody who's never watched an episode before, that's the episode I recommend. 100%. Because
all of us are on?
Yeah, all of us are on, and we actually put in work once again, like research, did our own research, had like topics and stuff. It was a really good episode overall.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really, really good episode.
That was a good one.
That's a must watch, Micah. We're giving Micah just the to-do list over here.
We'll send you the tier list when we're done, Micah.
Okay.
All right,
We gotta hurry this
episode
up.
25.
Almost at 30 minutes, exactly.
I have no idea. This is not one of our better episodes.
The Nintendo Switch
The
2.
gaming world has changed forever. We talk about monthly news from May. Oh yeah, so we talked about Jake Paul, Myson Tyson. Oh my god! Can you say that name? Mike Tyson fight.
Wow.
Being delayed. We talked about the new gaming console leaks and the NBA Finals.
Midge.
I think this is one we didn't do much
C-tier.
research on.
This is a C tier.
No, honestly, what's funny is I feel like we did do research. The topics just weren't interesting.
We did do research, but it was just bad research.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't
we
bad
knew like the
research.
headlines. We didn't know any details about it.
Yeah.
Well, it was
We knew new Switch, Mike Tyson. We barely knew why it was canceled. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
S
C
tier.
tier, is that good?
Yeah.
All right. I think we might have back-to-back S tiers here. Episode 26.
We're almost done.
Drinks. Is someone?
What is going
Oh,
on?
he's dead.
My God.
There's some. Okay. Anyways, we have our drinks tier list. This is an S tier.
That is S tier all day.
So
Micah,
good.
wouldn't you agree? S tier drinks
Dude,
tier.
it was pretty sick.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
Gaming episode 1.
That
this
was
one did
S
not.
tier.
You guys did not like this one, but it was
Go
honestly
watch
pretty
it.
good.
It's so good.
Like
not that they-
if you came in there with an empty mindset, thinking like if you did think that this was the When in Doubt podcast, came in here completely blank with an empty mindset, you'd actually think it was good if you
This
didn't
was
know
the
it was
most
us.
editing Hayden put into any episode, and it turned out so good. It's so funny.
Yeah, also,
It's so good.
It's not that I don't think it's not that they didn't like it. It's that it was so different from what we normally do. Everybody was like, I'm just not going to watch it because.
Well, yeah, because everyone's subscribing to watch podcasts.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So everybody's watching to watch, that type of content, and then we
Yeah.
change up the content, which I guess is fair, and that's why we were initially considering making a different channel to do gaming. But at the same time, when we already have this much of a following, it just seems dumb to start something new. But
Maybe
whatever.
once we get like Mr. Beast and get 300 million subscribers,
yeah,
we'll make a
casually.
separate channel.
Didn't
for
you
our
just
gaming
hit like a
videos.
new world record on YouTube for most subscribers?
Most subscribers, 300 mil.
Yeah,
Is that not crazy?
300 mil.
I thought Mr. Beast would have fallen off by now. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
He is not.
He's never
falling
falling
off. He's never gonna fall off.
Like apparently not.
That was
All
a really
right.
good episode.
Micah, it's your episode. Yes.
Well, you finally have a take
Episode-
on her.
What an absolute banger episode. This was
Micah,
good.
what did you think about this episode?
I thought it was all right. I would throw it in B.
I would put it in A.
I'm not
mean,
even gonna
and-
lie. I listened to. I would have said B, a high B tier episode, right
would
up there
throw
with
it
our.
in B.
Star
I
Wars.
listened to the clips. I thought it was pretty good.
This
I
was
would
a
say
B-tier
I
episode.
would say A.
I would
but-
say B just so we didn't incorporate Jack very much.
No, yeah, okay. That's
Yeah,
fair.
it
But
would
to be
be-
fair, he wasn't willing to get into it, bro. Dude didn't
I mean, I
want
was
to get
saying it
into
was just me and you talking
Yeah,
the
true.
whole time.
Yeah.
True, that's
well,
fair.
to be fair, you're not even talking in this one.
Skipping
Yeah,
45
but that's-
seconds.
Yeah.
Fair
It's
enough.
just like you don't know the
my
episodes.
gosh.
It's not like you can talk.
Yeah, I really can't do anything here.
No, that was a good
He's just
episode.
like
No, and also to be fair,
we actually hired him to be like a model for this podcast.
That's
Yeah.
true.
No.
no. But the one truth I will say about that episode is it's not only is it like an episode where I actually interviewed somebody who has something interesting going on in their life, unlike a lot of our other guests. No offense, love them all, but like no, no.
What?
No. Listen,
They have nothing interesting going on in their
No.
lives. They're pointless.
No, but what I'm saying is, dude plays professional disc golf. That's way cooler than anything else anybody else we know
That's
does.
true.
Let's be real. Like, dude travels
I mean, I
around
don't
the
know
US
anybody
playing-
who plays a professional sport.
Yeah.
Like any.
Yeah, like we don't know anybody who. No, this is easily the most interesting guest we've had, just based off of pure what you do and how good you are.
Yeah.
B tier. B tier is good.
Fine,
B tier.
whatever.
I B tier. All right. Next up, we got the Gel Guy return at episode 28.
It was.
A-tier. No?
It was
well,
mid. I'm sorry, Joe Guy.
I feel like it was
a mid
the idea
episode.
of bringing him back was a good idea. It just the topics were just like kind of random.
Okay, I just want to point this out. Since episode 23, I think every other comment had the word Joe Guy in it. Bring Joe Guy back. We want Joe Guy back.
And
Joe Guy made the podcast. And then we bring him back and you guys are like, this episode sucks. What the heck?
Yeah, that is such. No, they're never gonna be pleased. I was talking
Yeah.
to somebody else who's not on the podcast. One of my other friends just about this. How no matter what you do in the internet space, you can't please everybody. There's gonna be people who are begging for months to bring back a certain guest or a certain person on the podcast. You bring them back, and then all of a sudden everybody's hating on him. There's no way you win.
Yeah.
There's no way you ever win in life. All right.
So what was that? A B or a C tier?
I think it's high. It's B. It's
B?
definitely B.
I'd
But
put it
it's
in B.
it's definitely not as good. I don't know. It's one of those episodes where I'd never go back and listen to it because nothing like really was like intriguing or like something you could learn. It was just kind of us talking about life, which isn't a bad thing. But
All right, last one. Not non-debatable. Last episode with Juan. S tier.
yeah, S tier. That was
That
really
was-
good. That was
I think
so
that was a
funny.
good one. I think it deserves A though. I feel like we.
I don't know.
Could
if
have
you,
done better.
I don't know if you heard me say this is non-negotiable.
Oh, okay.
no.
No,
I think it's.
Go. Say
What-
what you were gonna say.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna. Oh, I forget what.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say something like. I feel like it was a good episode. It just doesn't compare to the other S tier ones. You know, like the Witty Awards,
literally
Spotify
does,
Wrapped.
though.
I feel like
it does.
it was a good episode, and Juan
I
brought
think-
a great personality
Yeah,
to the podcast.
Gavin almost convinced me. Juan is so funny and so good, but at the same time, we put in so much work in those other episodes, and the one episode we literally were like, "Yo, pull up 10 minutes before the show," and then we just talked, which isn't a bad thing. We actually had some good topics, but the Witty Awards we put so much work into. The Spotify episode we had everybody there, and like we talked about music. Like I feel like those episodes are definitely to a little higher quality than the Juan episode, which isn't a bad thing.
I think it's a good
Highest
episode.
A.
It's
I think it's the highest A.
I think it's A tier.
I think it's the highest A.
Oh.
It's A tier.
Highest A.
It's 2v1, brother.
It's highest A. Highest in A, for sure, though. We'll bring him back, for sure. He's really good.
Well, I guess
What is going on here?
I'm not sure. I messed something up. We're
All
gonna
right,
figure it
so
out.
episode 30, ranking our own tier list. That's an F.
So we're ranking.
That's an S
We're,
tier.
we're
Yeah,
ranking.
I think we put that in F.
I think yes, thank
we
you.
really could.
Ranking
Actually,
your own episodes is crazy. We put it in F.
Yeah, that's a good way to end it because we said we need to put something in F. So we'll put
That's
episode
true.
30
We'll
in
put
F.
This tier
This
list
episode-
in F.
That's funny. That's
we,
good.
That's good.
We rank our own tier lists, and we did horrible. We put it in F.
All right, so that's the F tier, and then what do we want to put in the God tier? I'll
Witty
run
awards.
them back. That's probably what I was gonna say too. We got Spotify Wrapped, monthly topics, episode
Yeah, that was
17,
good.
mainly talking about the casino heist.
That was funny.
Witty Awards, when in doubt, best moment. When Nick, and Sebastian came on, played Would You Rather. Drinks tier list and our first gaming episode.
Witty Awards, bring it to the top.
Witty
Here's what I think.
awards.
I think one of our best videos overall has been the soda and drinks tier list.
That's
I feel
true.
like we structured it really well. We had good content, but I feel like if I had to pick a video that was like, this is the personality of the podcast. Like you said, if I was like, you want to watch one video, watch this one, it'd be the Witty Awards. Just
Like-
because it just shows we have all of us on it. It's a great episode. I don't know. I just really like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like for this, I feel like I want to say we put 3 in God tier, and then like let's say somebody never hears of the podcast. These are the 3 episodes we recommend, and I would say it's Witty Awards, the monthly topics,
And
and our
Spotify.
drinks tier list. Those 3 are our God tier episodes.
I would argue Spotify is one of those 3. I think it's
Yeah.
Witty, Spotify, and
Drinks.
and drinks.
probably drinks. Yeah.
I would agree.
I think
Those would be my top.
But
three.
they're all good.
They're
The
all
S tier
good.
ones are all really good.
That's
I
true.
really do. I think we did really well with all
Witty
those.
Awards at number 1.
We'll have to go back and analyze this and.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this
All right.
was a blast.
Wait,
My-
we got to throw the tier list up on Gavin's head again.
Oh yeah, Anna Micah. Look at I'm
Anna
Gavin and
Micah.
Micah.
So it's right here.
Yeah. Yes, it is right here. It is right here. So this is our tier list. What do you guys think? Our tier list of our episodes. That's a little hypocritical, but here we are, and we
the
put
tier list
we
you
are
see,
very
we're just gonna put
narcissistic.
every
Yeah.
single one in God tier.
no. But we've had an absolute blast filming episode 30. Rank your own episodes. Hopefully you guys had a fun
Let's go.
ride along with us to episode 30. We got a lot of more exciting, we promise, content coming out. We're going on a trip. We're going to have a great time.
Stay tuned.
High quality content coming out. Stay tuned. Episode 30, guys. Okay.